Be ready. Start. It is also noticed from the records originally the land in question came to be handed over to the defense authorities. It is also noticed from the records originally the land in question came to be handed over to the defense authorities by invoking the provisions of Defense of India Act 1962, which act came to be repealed on 10th January 1968 by virtue of section 25 of the Requisitioning Act 1952. Whatever has been done under the Defense Act of India is presumed to have been done under the Requisitioning Act. Therefore, under section 6 of the Requisitioning Act, the authorities could not have held the property beyond 8/3/1987 at any cost. We say so because within the said period of 7/3/1987, apparently there was no valid acquisition of properties by the concerned authorities as noted above. It is also brought to our notice that though portions of land in different survey numbers adjacent to these lands came to be acquired in the year 1972, and also on earlier occasions, such acquisitions never came to be challenged by the respective owners, and the defense authorities continued to be in possession of those properties as beneficiaries after acquiring the said lands by the competent authority. We notice that from the contentions of the defense authorities right from 1941 till date, about 600 acres is in possession of them, and some of the lands are acquired other than the lands in question. This survey number 103 seems to be in the center of that 600 acres on this vast area of 600 acres, which is enclosed by a fence by the authorities. They have put up firing range, buildings, parade ground, etc. In that view of the matter, as we noted above already, at this late hour of the day, it would not be just and proper to direct the respondents to hand over the possession of those properties. In the connected MFA number 2220 of 2002, we have already approved the computation of rental compensation awarded by the arbitrator up to 7/3/2000. The petitioners are entitled to seek compensation for the subsequent period in accordance with law. The respondents, defense authorities, and the state government are at liberty to initiate acquisition proceedings so far as these lands are concerned if they need in respect of property in survey number 102/1 and 103/2 as well for the benefit of the defense authorities. Mr. Mohan Parasaran, the appellant's senior counsel, argued that having upheld the main contentions with respect to the ownership and title of the suit lands, the impugned judgment erred in law in refusing to grant the reliefs claimed in the writ proceedings. It was argued that even if arguendo any acquisition notification had covered any period up to 1975, with the coming into force of the 1984 amendments to the Land Acquisition Act, a period of 2 years was statutorily granted by Parliament to complete the acquisition, that is, to issue the award. Since concededly there was no award valid ever made by virtue of the operation of law, that is section 11A, the question of ownership which was decided by the arbitrator in the first and third award became conclusive and binding. It was also urged that the directions of the earlier division bench ruling in B.M. Krishnamurthy were specifically to determine the extent of land acquired. In compliance, the arbitrator in the third arbitration proceedings by the first award decided the extent of acquired land. Those findings of the arbitrator rendered by virtue of the earlier remand became final because the union's appeal was rejected by the division bench. Further, the special leave petition against that judgment was rejected by this court. It was argued that once the issue of ownership stood settled conclusively, the union had to vacate the suit property because its possession was not justified or authorized by law. Learned counsel relied on the ruling of this court, which held, recollecting an earlier judgment in State of Haryana versus Mukesh Kumar, that the right to property is not only a constitutional or statutory right but a human right. This court quoted with approval earlier judgments which had ruled that deprivation of possession of one's property without a law was untenable. It was argued that the determination of compensation was up to the period ending in 2000, that is 20 years ago. In the meanwhile, the value of property as well as recurring value of compensation had risen astronomically as the suit lands had great commercial potential. From the narration of events, it is clear that first, the suit properties were requisitioned in 1963 under the DIA. The amendment to the Requisition Act, which enacted Section 25 in 1968, had the effect of creating a deeming fiction that requisitions under the DIA were deemed to be under the Requisitioning Act. Thereafter, due to successive amendments to the Requisitioning Act, the period of requisition continued. It finally ended in 1987. In the meanwhile, the original landowner, late Krishnamurthy, sought and was granted a reference to arbitration on the issue of compensation payable. The first award, made in 1975, decided both the question of extent of land requisitioned and also the land owned by the landowner. The award was questioned, but the appeal was disposed of by the High Court on 21/7/1978 on the basis of a joint memo. The fresh determination, which was made through the award dated 28/1/1985, again redetermined the compensation payable for the period after 1/10/1968 using the capital value fixed earlier as the basis. This led to the judgment of the High Court, which held that there was no evidence to support the union's contention that some part of the suit lands had been acquired. Thank you.